Hello.
Hey, yeah. You're parsley, oregano, cayenne, something like that.
Call me Sage.
Yeah, same thing, whatever. You're in that SpongeBob movie, right? Oh, man. I think that movie's gonna do great at the box office.
Pretty sure it doesn't.
I'm not sure exactly if you're supposed to say that or not, but it is what it is. Okay. Oh, here's the review. What's up? Welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today I'm looking at the third theatrical film to be released covering the life of SpongeBob SquarePants. It's Sponge on the Run! When Gary the Snail is abducted from SpongeBob's pineapple abode, SpongeBob and Patrick take a road trip to find and rescue him, which leaves the Krabby Patty in dire trouble since their star employee is not around anymore, allowing the dastardly Plankton to get his grubby paws on that secret formula he's been after for the last 22 years. Whatever will SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, and Mr. Krab do now? So, throughout the years, I'd say I watched SpongeBob SquarePants on and off. You know, it first aired when I was still in elementary school, believe it or not, and I'm now 33. It's crazy to think how long the show has been on and how many episodes there have been all around. We're talking enough episodes to warrant 3 theatrical films and countless specials. You can hate this character or love him. Doesn't really matter because I think at this point it's universally accepted that people watch him. But at the end of the day, is this a movie that's worth watching? For me, the answer to that is mostly probably not. And there's a few reasons for that. But there's one towering elephant in the room, which I'll get into in a second. But first, I'll talk about some positives. In general, this is SpongeBob being SpongeBob. I mean, if you like the characters in general, I don't think you'll have a problem here. They're all doing what they normally do. I mean, Plankton's still looking for that formula, for instance, which is fine. I also think that all these films have done a remarkable job with the animation. You know you're watching a SpongeBob movie when they all pull the real world into the film in one way or another, throw in a bunch of fun Hollywood cameos, and transform SpongeBob and friends into CGI animated characters. This has especially been more obvious since the release of the ever so popular Lego Movie franchise. Any kid watching this movie will have a blast. I have no doubt in my head about that. Unfortunately, though, as an adult, I find it kind of lackluster that the movie doesn't really present anything new. All of this is stuff we've seen and heard before for, at this point, decades. The only thing that they really do to change it up is focus so hard on CGI stuff and pull what I consider to be a really crappy backdoor pilot for their new show. I'm not even kidding. Most of this movie is just a nod to the show that they're currently promoting, which is Camp Coral, which is a prequel spin-off for SpongeBob. The only material that I found to be original in this movie was Camp Coral, and I couldn't help but roll my eyes because it felt so odd and misplaced. It felt unnecessary even to bring any of the Camp Coral stuff up other than to promote the TV show. A TV show, by the way, that I'm not planning to watch at any point. So when you throw the Camp Coral stuff out and then focus primarily on the elements that make up this film and the story here, there's really not much to discuss. I would much rather watch the TV show than this. It's not exactly a horrible movie, but thinking back to the other films, I think those movies were much more special and much more cinematic as a whole because they weren't trying to be anything that they weren't. They weren't trying to trick you into watching something else that they're doing. It was just a SpongeBob movie. And that was it, which was fine. This, I feel cheated almost, because I never had the desire to see that show. And now I was sort of forced to see its backdoor pilot just because I wanted to see a SpongeBob movie. I don't know, maybe I'm blowing it out of proportion, but I was kind of annoyed with certain elements of this movie, as Squidward is often annoyed with SpongeBob's voice. Looking at my final score, you'll see what I mean here. From an unbiased technical vantage point, I can't really give it fault. It's not bad. I mean, the visuals of the animation are pretty good, not gonna lie. And when it comes to a cartoon that's been on for more than 20 years, it's hard not to say that the casting is perfect, the characters are well fleshed out because they've had time to do that over the years, which is fine. It's not a crazy surprising movie by any means, so this technical score isn't gonna be crazy, but it is decent at 70%. My bias score, or how I felt about it overall, however, that's where it kind of took a bit of a nosedive, right? Because I was annoyed, I was bored, I was disappointed. It was okay at times, but for the most part, I was waiting for it to end. This score is 56%. Averaging out the two scores together, we come to the final rating of 63%. 63 out of 100 possible stars, or a D letter grade, which basically means that it passes. But not by much. Fellers, have you seen this movie? What do you think about it? And oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out.
Dave examines movies we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert. He is the #1 critic that I go to when I need a movie pick. Thanks for joining up with us.